And welcome back to the Kyle Sutherland Show. It is February 2nd. As you are listening to this, I hope you had a great weekend and are prepared for a fantastic Super Bowl week / waste management week ahead. We have a great show for you today. So I have a great show for you today. There's no we in this, besides the voices in my head. Today we're going to be talking about the Super Bowl. We're going to be going over some of the WM Phoenix Open and Scotty Scheffler. We're going to talk through my latest my newest video that just came out, the Taco Challenge, which is quite fun. Wanted to talk about that for a second. Get a little into F1, which has been my newest obsession. I've binge watched, I think, all of season 2, so if I'm ready to talk 2019 F1. And then any other random crap I'm going to talk. Oh, and then I'm going to talk about getting fitted. And the fitting experience. And the fitting experience with my friends at the Golf Academy, at the Lake County Golf Academy. Okay, step 1, Super Bowl. Happy Super Bowl week, everybody. Pats, Seahawks, but like it's like we're in a new Pats Seahawks. I don't know what I mean by new Pats Seahawks, but I mean I guess I know what I mean by new Pats Seahawks. I feel like I remember the Super Bowl. Maybe this makes me unk or old, whatever you want to call it, but I feel like I remember the Super Bowl, like Russell Wilson, Tom Brady, like the hype for this one I feel like was crazy. I don't remember why the Patriots, but it was that Richard Sherman year. After I can't remember who they played. But that was a hell of a game, right, going into that. So that was all. I think there was, no, who the hell was their running back? Marshawn Lynch, right? And that's where he was refusing to talk to the media. So there was a lot of, I would say, storylines and prelude going into this last one, right? It's like you obviously knew who Tom Brady was. You obviously knew who Russell Wilson was at that point. So it's crazy being a recap of, now we're in Pats Seahawks again, but it's a full new players. I mean, it's May versus Sam Darnold. I couldn't even really name you anyone on the Patriots Seahawks defense, really, right? So it's a different world than it was the Legion of Boom days and the Tom Brady days. I think it's gonna be a close game. I really do. I think it's gonna be a good shot. I think it's gonna be not a good shot. It's gonna be a good Super Bowl. I think we haven't had. Well, have we? What have the last couple been? I feel like the last couple have been pretty close. Let's look past Super Bowls really quick. Hold on, chat. Yeah. Super Bowl final scores. Here we go. Let's look at the last couple and see. I feel like the last couple have been close. I was literally just about to say the last couple have been close, but I feel like they have been close. 2025 was not close. 40-22. Oh yeah, that's what I remember. See? Smart, Kyle. The Chiefs and the Niners went to overtime 2 years ago. 38-35 years before that. Bengals, Rams before that. 23-20. Blowout. 10 points. So I was right. So the last couple have been close. And they've all been the same usual suspects, with being the Chiefs most of the time, and then just versus the Eagles and the Niners. So it's two different teams. Well, different in terms of the last couple of years. We got to go back to 2019 when that was the Rams. So when did they play last time then? So that was Patriots. That was before the Falcons won. So we're going back to 2015. 28-24 Patriots. Damn, feels like forever ago. 2015 was my final year of college, man. I am old. Crazy. So I think it's gonna be a good game. I love this week. This is one of my favorite weeks of just the media hype around the Super Bowl, where it feels like it just is like a big wave that kind of starts building. Like the tide starts kind of coming in when you start seeing people start posting a little bit. Like me, I'm such a huge Barstool fan. You'll start seeing them post earlier and earlier in the week. And then you'll see more media members start coming down and posting pictures of the airport. So it's a great week for seeing the kind of the tide build, and then all of a sudden it feels like that on the weekend. It's like Sports Center's live from, everyone's live from. And then it builds to, which should be a national holiday, is Sunday, the Super Bowl. And that's hella pumped up for just this week to see hella pumped up. Who I think I am saying hella pumped up. Excited just to kind of live vicariously through people that are at the Super Bowl. It's always been a dream of mine to go to the Super Bowl. I think the game would be fun, but I think it'd be super fun to be there for I don't know about maybe Monday or Tuesday, but Wednesday on, I feel like would be awesome, especially if it was your team. If it was anyone, I think it'd be cool. But I'm a big fan of people watching and kind of seeing people enjoy moments. I think it'd be really cool to see fans there and enjoying the moment. I think I would sit with a cup of coffee or sit with a cocktail and just watch. And just people watch people just watch people that are going to the Super Bowl. People watch throwing the football around in the little areas they have set up. I would be, I think, super into just taking in football, of where the mecca of football is at that moment. So maybe one day when it's millions and millions and millions of you, besides the 4 of you that are watching right now, maybe one day I'll go to the Super Bowl and be able to talk about that on a podcast. That'd be pretty cool. Right now, we're stuck talking on a Sunday night about the post-football blues. I would say that's one of the things that sets in right after the championship games for me, is that damn, it's over. We still have the Super Bowl, but the Super Bowl feels like it's such pomp and circumstance. I think I got that right. Is that there's so much to it. It's not like you're watching commercials. The game feels like it could really, sometimes could go either. It's championship Sundays where you feel like you have all the hardcore fans, and it really feels like that's where you got 2 games of football. And I don't watch a Pro Bowl today. But what I did. What? I didn't know. Okay, I didn't watch a Pro Bowl, but I did start, really, oh man, this is life after football, pre-golf/baseball. Now, once Sunday Night Baseball gets all ramped up, I'm going to be all amped up for Cubs games, and we're in Cubs season. But there's now a 4-week stretch where I don't know what to do with my days. What do people do? Now, shout out F1, so I watched Drive to Survive all day today. But what do people do when there's no? I guess I watch golf. So what am I talking about? But this post post football. I love. I think there's always a big. Feels like we're always doing stuff for Braves games with people, our family. No one's hitting me up to watch golf tournaments. I don't know why. So there's a lot of that football just, I think, brings, and I love going to the game. So it's after that, it's always kind of it's always, I would say, a come down or a letdown. It's like a re-entry into the real world that there's not football Thursday, Sunday, Monday, all days. You can't devote 3 days to football. So you have to like find things to do / watch or spend time with like your loved ones. So fun week / this post football blues, I guess you could call it, is, I don't know. You can't call it blues because I like so many other. I like golf so much that I don't really care at the end of the day. Golf's on at 9 a.m. It was great today. But it was interesting that from finishing on the Super Bowl, I was just going to get into golf. See, folks, that's why you write things down on pieces of paper right here, right? Because before I got into golf, I'm going to go right in. I was going to score right past football by the last couple points. And this says picks in Conestas. Picks in. What could this mean? What did I write down, chat? This is an interesting conundrum right here. What does my note say? I don't know. Pick for the Super Bowl. Because I did so well. We'll get to that in the golf segment. NFL, last one of the thing. Ride with me. I'm telling you, get on this train. I know what I'm talking about. I'm smart. And I know what I'm talking about with football. Super Bowl! Give me the Pats plus 4.5. Give me Kenneth Walker anytime touchdown. I want to confirm that this number didn't change because I'm a good, let's make sure this number didn't change from what I wrote down. We're taking the over at, settle down, hold, 45.5. We're rooting for 46 points. So I am taking the over 45.5. You can play each of those straight up. Pats plus 4.5, Walker anytime touchdown, or the over at 55.5. You can parlay them all together and thank me later. Picks. Listen. That's what I say, okay? Let's make sure in my document here, in my handy dandy document, that I did not miss anything. I want to go to the Super Bowl. I said that. Bears. Oh, yeah, the Bears. One day. One day, this 2 weeks will be about them. And I will be watching Caleb Williams do an interview, which would be cool. Not this week, but one of these days, my friends. And I don't know. I was going to say family, but you guys know my family's going to watch this. Some of them may. Not my brother. My picks, gave you those. I was 2-3 with the NFL, so why would you not listen to me? Since we're on my picks. My golf picks they didn't do well. I'm just gonna go ahead and I'm gonna be the first one to admit it. I saw all the comments. Everyone commented a lot on the video. I saw thank you. Let's just do a little recap of my picks from last time. Just see how close I was. Okay, I said top 10 finish at the Farmers. Not all of them. I said maybe one of these guys. Right? Wyndham Clark tied 65. Okay, no big deal. Jason Day, who I picked top 10 and to win, tied 38. Not great. JJ Spawn, this is where it gets bad, people. This is the bad one. I gotta scroll here for a second. See, young JJ did not make the cut. JJ Spawn was even. Tied for last. Not actually last, but it doesn't say, it just says he's just a cut. So cut, that's not great. We don't like that. This was my closest. This one hurt. I was watching. I was listening. Hideki, T11. And Brooks, T56. That's tough, people. That's a lot of spots I missed it by there. So that's my bad. I'll take that on me, and we're going to get better. We're back in the lab this week. We are back in the lab this week, and I have picks for you guys this week too, okay? Hold on, let's open up the app and make sure. Whoa, Skippy. Whoa, Skippy. Whoa, Skippy. Hold on. Cómate. Okay. We are having a waste management. Oh, TGL picks, obviously smash Jupiter Lynx to beat Atlanta Drive today, if you're listening to this. 2-1 Jupiter Lynx to win. I put Young $5 on that plus 130. So that is gonna pay me out $650. Shout out the Score Gambling app. Or no, shout out DraftKings, one of those, whoever wants to sponsor it. Jupiter Links to win. And then go back and confirm my picks. There's a PGA Tour. The odds are not out yet. Never mind. So we will. I was going to confirm my picks for the odds because they were so bad last week, but you know what? We'll just shoot from the hip again because that worked last week, so we're fine. There's only one person to take this week, and I would take a second mortgage out on your house, and bet Scotty Scheffler to win the freaking waste management. I'm telling you, people, this man, if you know what, don't take a mortgage. That was bad advice. Take 2 mortgages out on your house, and then go down to the docks and beg someone for money, and then bet it on Scotty Scheffler to win. Okay. Scotty. win WM. You can get him. You can get him straight up. You get him to win by 2 or 3 strokes. I'll take that. With the way he putted last time, and with how easy this of a putting this course, and if with I heard with the little frost they got, not frost, but some bad weather they got, it's supposed to be an easy putting week. So take Scotty. He's gonna be putting his effing you know what off. And I really like his chances this week. Really like his chances this week. Top 10 this week. I think he's in the field, but I want to make sure. Is my man Cashmere? No, actually, I thought. Yep, yeah. Top 10. Maybe top. What did I say? Top 10. WM top 10. Keith Mitchell. Cashmere Keith. Watched him play a little bit today. He was looking good. I liked the way his short game was playing. This is all based on vibes, okay? This is all based on me watching golf and saying who I liked, so it's if I don't see them playing, I might not see how they looked. So don't come at me. This is not a foolproof system. Who else did I like? Siwoo Kim. He's been playing super well too. So I'm gonna top 10s. Siwoo Kim. We're gonna do 3. I think 5 was a lot last week. 3 picks this week. Scotty Scheffler to win. If you can get it by 2 or 3 strokes, take that. Top 10. My 2 top 10 picks are obviously Scotty. They might charge your account if you pick Scotty to win that, probably. And then Cashmere Keith Mitchell and Siwoo Kim. I know people are going to say Brooks Koepka after how he made the cut. He needs a little more time. He will, but he needs a little more time. To the WM Phoenix Open. Where am I drunk? Hold on. WM Phoenix Open. I want to go to just as the same way as the Super Bowl, I want to go to the WM Phoenix Open. I think this is a super cool event. It is my major because I'm the people. It is the people's major. A couple years ago, they lost control of the golf course, of the fans. I think they got under control last year. And it's more of a drinking event than it is a golf event. I know I've had some friends go, and they did the whole run out thing to the 16th hole, and we're standing out there and we're betting all day. I want to go. I want to be there. That sounds cool. You gamble, you watch golf, and you drink. Whoa. That's what I like to do. Gambling, golfing, and drinking. 1, 2, 3. Check. So yeah, I super want to go, and one day I will get to the Waste Management, and we'll do a whole trip off there with all, hopefully some friends. That'd be very, very, very fun. And why I especially want to go is I got the opportunity to play down there a couple of years ago. And that was also what kind of really makes it a lot more fun. I don't know if you've had the opportunity to play a golf course that or to play a golf course that's on the PGA Tour that's on TV. If you haven't, it greatly impacts when you watch it on TV because I mean I'm a egotistical maniac. So maybe I'm just thinking about myself. But as you're watching them hit shots, you're immediately thinking, oh, well, I was here. Now you're playing from like 100 yards farther up than what the pros are teeing it up from. But you're thinking kind of through the shots as you see them. You're thinking about the greens that are probably rolling 10 times as fast as when I was out there. I was out there in the summer, though, so it was hot, so they were pretty dried out. But they have, I'm sure, speedy this week. So you really kind of get more of an appreciation for kind of the golf course. You understand, I think, a lot more also the layout of kind of where people are on the golf course. You kind of understand where some of the harder holes are coming up to. And then it's like, okay, hey, this person didn't play well in this stretch of easy holes. What are they going to do in the hard holes? And which I think you can definitely understand a little bit more as you watch. And that's really all to being really more understanding golf courses, right? And that's really, somewhere like Augusta, right, where you know so well every hole. It's a lot easier than, I guess they've been playing it a lot. This week's at TPC Scottsdale, next week's at Pebble. So you know a lot of the holes and know a lot of the stuff coming up. Say it's more understanding. I would say it's more of an ego thing, of maybe a personal thing of how cool more of it is to be somewhere that, hey, this is like the same spot you have played. And I'm sure that's where a lot they get into charging bucks for some of these courses that are on PGA Tour stops because they know they can charge an arm and a leg after the tour has been there, which why would they not? Because you can watch it on TV. I know that's one of my favorite things about Erin Hills. Shout out Erin Hills, my favorite golf course of all time. Erin Hills is, I love, every time we've played, I've like rewatched Justin Thomas's final round of the U.S. Open that year. Just because like, oh my God, I was just there. That place over there, I was just there. So I would say that was pretty cool. That was like a cool experience having been at a course kind of, and then you get to kind of see the other half of it. All right, so let's go back to the board here, people. Chekhov want to go there. Been there a couple years ago. Scotty's gonna win. Love talking courses. Boom, boom, boom. We hit all those. Siwoo Kim. Look at this. Bango, bango, bongo. That was easy. We got all the. So shout out WM Phoenix. Looking forward to watching that this week. Looking forward to watching the inevitable debauchery that occurs at that course on the par 3, especially on the 16th hole. Looking forward. I'm going to have to go play that in PGA Tour this week and get all a little ramped up for that. So next, let's talk through the most recent YouTube video that was released. So as you're hopefully listening to this, watching this, as you're done, head on over to Birdie to Bogey YouTube, and we have just released the newest taco challenge, which is 9 holes, 9 tacos. Nothing to do with the score. Every hole you play, you gotta eat a taco. Pretty simple. Play a hole, eat a taco. Shout out my friends. We're not friends yet, but we will. We will be one day. At Bob Does Sports. They have been a great inspiration to us on a lot of our eating challenges as we play golf. And this came from them. So why not? I think they did way more tacos than we did. We only did 9. I think they did like 50. And that was a lot of tacos, but we did it. I'm proud to say that we did it, even though how much I wanted to vomit on the way home. didn't eat all day, so, what's like a normal amount of tacos, right? 4 or 5 tacos is that's a lot, right? I'd say normal is 3 tacos, right? Probably is pretty normal, maybe pushing 4, right? Um, those were fine. And I would go as far as to say I enjoyed those tacos, especially the first 2, right? I was hungry. Those went down pretty smooth. Taco 7, 8, and 9 were a problem. Problem. And it was like the law of exponential returns. If that's right, I'm so smart. But who the fuck knows? Because 7 sucked, 8 sucked a ton more, and then 9 sucked as much as those other 2 sucked combined. 7's the first one that it started getting cold, which is like, okay, this is like a lukewarm taco that's like the wrapper is like stuck to it and you're like peeling it off. We doused it in hot sauce to make it a little bit better. Got that one down, and then 8 is when it started to really hurt. I remember we're sitting in the cart on the 9th tee box eating the 8th taco, and the taco, we're opening it up, and the first, like, you open it up and you just saw it. Like, it was just, the smell of 2-hour-old Taco Bell that's been riding around with you on your feet, that you've like had, and it's almost like the last 2 tacos that we picked of the group that they were not good, right? There's 4 left, so there was those were at the 8th hole, then after the 8th. That one did not go down well. That one hurt, I would say. That one was physically hurting to get down. I forgot water also, so like it was like my mouth was dry from the salt of Taco Bell. And then 9 just really just was the icing on cake. Now 9 actually, I would say 8 maybe was worse, because 9 we did a little break in terms of like there was a bunch of people behind us, so we had to kind of go. And then we dropped the carts off, and then decided that we wanted to go back to the putting green and film the last taco. So instead of doing it by the cars, which I thought was a better shot anyways. So that like gave us like an extra maybe 5 to 10 minutes between tacos, which did, in that sense, did help. So the 8th one was the worst one. Also the 9th one was like, hey, we knew I eat this taco, and if I want to go in my bathroom and vomit everything up afterwards, you gotta do what you gotta do. That didn't happen, luckily. Fingers crossed. I don't know why it's months later, but all good. We did not vomit anything up. We were all set. That was a successful Taco Belling, successful taco challenge. Shout out to Billy. Much thanks to Billy for doing this. He has been a trooper on these challenges. And to almost to the fact that I don't know if it's a trooper, I think he just really likes it. I don't even think he's trooping out. I think 9 tacos seemed very easy to Billy. Like, almost like he does that on a weekly basis, is what it seemed like. He put down the 9 taco and was like, oh, you got another one? You got another one, Billy. I'm about to die from these tacos, and he's about to eat at number 10. So shout out Billy. It was good performance. He sucked at golf that day, but he ate a bunch of tacos. We're making good time. Nice. This is the first show we're on time with the entire time. So shout out to F1. I spent the most of the day. Well, and I also, hands up, I come in peace. F1 fans, if you're watching this, if you've got to this part of the podcast and you saw F1 in the title, I come in peace. I don't know anything. I know nothing about F1, okay? I've watched Drive to Survive, and I think I may be a fan, and I come in peace now, and I want to learn, okay? So I want to learn. I want to learn your ways. I finished season 2 of Drive to Survive. It turns out that, what's his name? Carlos, not Rodon. That's the pitcher. Alcaraz is the tennis player. Shit. This is bad podcasting. Hold on. No, maybe it's not Carlos. Daniel Ricciardo. That was bad podcasting. I'll fully admit that. I kind of thought Daniel Ricciardo was pretty good. Turns out this Max Verstappen guy is pretty good. Seems like he is good, and it seems like they didn't really show a ton of him in the first season. But this Lewis Hamilton guy is also pretty good. So I don't know. Don't ruin it. Please do not ruin it for me. I've done my best not to look up what happens. I do know that this year is Verstappen, maybe Lando Norris. I don't know who, but I know those are the 2 people. I don't know which one of them won it. But I don't know who I'm a fan of. I like it. I like F1. It holds my interest, and I feel like it's something that I would watch on a Saturday or Sunday morning in the summer or whenever it starts in March or something. I think it's the new seasons. It seems like something I would enjoy. I love watching golf all day, so it seems like something that's kind of fits that, like, kind of something you could have on, kind of maybe, I wouldn't say background, but something that's maybe good for something good to watch, and watch your guy and maybe flip on and then watch second coverage. But I don't have a team. So first is like, do people pick teams or do they pick drivers? So I would say put in the comments, if you're an F1 person, do I pick a team or do I pick a driver that I like? Because I feel like if you pick a driver, do you have to flip with them to the teams? Or if you pick a team, do you then, like, is it like picking the Bears and I just, like, get amped up for a new quarterback when they sign a new driver? I think it's the latter. And if it's the latter, and I promise I don't know if this team exists. And I know Red Bull exists, but I don't know if Aston Martin Red Bull exists anymore. And I like Aston Martin for just the same fact that that's James Bond car. So I thought that was cool. I loved McLaren growing up. I did like Ferrari, but I feel like Ferrari's a homer pick. That's like picking the Cowboys. So I don't know who to pick. I'm kind of leaning towards... I also feel like, why would I not be a Max Verstappen fan? Because I feel like he was going to win a lot. So why would I just not root for the guy that's going to win? Or same thing with Lewis Hamilton. Why would I not just be a Lewis Hamilton fan? But also, is that like bad? Is that like being a Tiger fan after his 10th major? Can I not? Do I need to pick a young guy? So that like picking like the Maverick McNeely of the put in the comments who's the Maverick McNeely of the F1. I want to like someone that's, I don't know who I pick. I don't know. It's interesting. I do like the McLaren offices though. I'll say that the McLaren offices, what they've shown of that is pretty sweet. Maybe they just haven't shown their offices as much, but I will say that is something that I've been like, ooh, could fuck. Try not to use that word, but could do with that. But like, there's multiple things that I want to know. Like, do any of the drivers like golf? That's heavily going to impact my thing. If all of a sudden I hear that Max Verstappen loves golf, well, then I'm going to be a big Max Verstappen guy. If all of a sudden I hear Lewis Hamilton loves golf, guess what? Guess who a fan I am? This vote can be sold. So I'm in 2019, so I got a lot of catching up to do still. So like, also, am I picking people that are now old? It's been 6 years. Are they still driving? I think Max Verstappen. I think Lewis Hamilton's still driving. I don't know. But like, also, like, what's the best track? If you're an F1 fan, put your favorite track in the comments, please. So, which tracks are there? I know Monaco, and I know I think they did a street. No, they did the street track in Vegas. I think this year, or no, that was NASCAR. They did the Vegas Grand Prix, maybe. I don't know. But that one I am interested in. So I don't know what I gotta pick. I gotta feel like I gotta pick a. I've heard I gotta pick a track. I gotta pick. I think I've also heard I maybe should play the game, which I may look into playing the game. I think that could be fun. That might help me learn some more of the stuff around F1. But today I watched, I think, all but one episode of season 2 today. So it's been a productive day. Very productive day of winter day here, watching Drive to Survive. So, I just started season 3. Very interesting to see the COVID thing. It's something that I would say I am, like, my world was so completely out of. I had nothing in. It's been one of the first COVID things that I've enjoyed watching back as like almost historical landmark. It's like I knew exactly what was going on in like my sports life and thing at that time. So when they like to hear the crossover that they made, it was very interesting. And then I was immediately over it, and I was like, take the mask off. I'm over this. But that was interesting. So I'm on season. I just started. As I was taking the notes of episode 4, I was like the first 10 minutes of season 3, I think. So I will see. By next week, I might be in season 5. Who knows? We'll see. But we will update you guys on. So actually, let's write that right now. I don't know what this is. This is like I tried to write like business things up here about my. This is just podcast stuff. So F1. We're going to be for the 2020 season. I'm going to be Team Max Verstappen. And Red Bull Aston Martin. Is that like also like that Alex guy that had in his team? So I think he's going to win. And then I need a track. And then which team? So there's a lot. So comment away. I need to know these things about F1. Oh, golf. Which golf? Golf. So a lot I need to know about F1. Right now I'm in 2020 F1, so we'll see where I go from there. Shout out if one of my favorite YouTube shows, and if you have not watched them, I think this is a big week of their content. It's one of Barstool's daily shows, The Yak. What's my favorite podcast? I don't listen to podcasts. I watch more of it on YouTube. They are an absolute heater right now. Their last week or 2 weeks of episodes have been all time. Go watch the Donnie Does Science episode. I've watched this show for 7 years, since it was a YouTube show, and then it used to be a Sirius show before that, and I had Sirius XM. So I've seen a lot of this show. In the last 2 weeks, they have had some of the more funny episodes that I think I've ever watched of this show. So shout out the Yak. They're on an absolute heater. And I think there is going to be a lot of debauchery from the Barstool shows in LA or in San Francisco this week, with them being the Patriots being the Super Bowl. And especially excited to see the Yak this week. They had a bunch of fun challenges, so go watch the one from Friday if you haven't. And then also wanted to briefly touch on my friends at the Lake County Golf Academy. If you do need lessons, or if you need club fitting, definitely hit them up. They are definitely someone that, if you're looking for someone more of a tailored experience to how you play and how you're looking to play golf, if you're looking for somewhere that maybe understands you and not, I'm trying not to diminish some maybe would-be sponsor, but there's certain places you go to that maybe rhyme with, I'm not going to do this, but there's certain places you go, the stores, big box stores, that you may not get kind of the personal experience you're looking for, right? You may hit like this number there, and they'll put you in a certain set of clubs. If you guys want to sponsor me, you're awesome. But right now, I would say go out to my friends at Lake County Golf Academy. They are fantastic fitters. They are a great spot to, once you get the clubs, to get lessons also. So you can kind of take that new swing that you found at doing the fitting, that everyone knows, like you're roasting a driver for the fitting, and you bring it outside and you're like, oh, how was I doing that again? After you took like 50 driver swings, and now you're sitting on the tee for the first one, you're like, oh shit, I just duck hooked it. So buy the new clubs and then take them and then take lessons so that you understand how to use them more. It's like, you're not going to buy a brand new nice drill and then not like learn how to use the better drill press. If you're going from a hand drill, right? You're going to learn, if you're going from a little tiny hand drill or just a little tiny 2-volt battery that you bought at Menards, you're upgrading to a drill press, you're gonna learn how to use that tool first, right? Same thing with golf clubs, right? Learn how to use the tools. We did a couple of videos for fitting. I think we're gonna do an actual fitting in the next week or so. Excited to see where I am. It's been a couple of years since I have been fit for a driver, and the technology's come a long way. So shout out also our friends at TaylorMade. They were doing the fitting, so hit a couple of their clubs and really enjoyed the QI 40. It seems like it got some great pop on my ball. Even on some of the ones that felt like they were a little bit more heely, they still took off. So excited to maybe get fit in that club more often. See maybe putting that in the bag for this year, and roasting my drives on some of my friends would be quite fun. Let's check on the list. My friends, that was episode 4. Hope you enjoyed. Thank you again. Shout out for everyone for watching. Please like, and then subscribe. Any channels, any platforms you're on, and then go to Target, go subscribe on all those devices. Then go to the Apple Store and subscribe on all those devices. Go break into your parents' phones, break into your boyfriends or wives or moms or anyone's phones, and subscribe to the channel, okay? And then also remember the picks. Shout out the picks. Pats plus 4.5, Walker anytime touchdown in the order over 45. My Jupiter links to win today, February 2nd. And then this week in the Waste Management, Scotty to win, top 5 Siwoo Kim, and Kashmir Keith Mitchell. Thank you guys all for watching this week. It has been the Kyle Suchland Show, and we will see you next week. Hey.